Well, good evening, all the honeys, and welcome to our very first session where we are going to talk to you about personal branding. Now, just a little bit of a recap on how the session will actually happen. It will happen as a live session every single night, and every single evening we will tackle the next session. So there will be 3 complete sessions on the same topic. But there's so much to say about branding that it can literally keep us busy for a very long time. Also, the session will then be sent to you on a formal recording where you can access not only the session, but also all the tools that we are releasing with you, the downloads. And right at the end in the chat for those people on the live broadcast, we'll also have the link to quickly download the document that I released to you. So one of the things that I am doing is I'm also giving you the full PDF of this session, but I do want you to take your notebook out. And I don't want you to copiously make notes of everything that is written on the session notes. But I want you to listen inside of yourself and in your head for those drops of moments, those little aha moments. I want you to write that down in your honey journal, in your playbook. So I have been speaking about this since last year, and I said, I want you this year to have a formal book, and I want you to call it your honey playbook, because you are writing your own manual on how you are going to run your business. There's a lot of things in this business that are very standard, but you will see specifically the things that we're going to talk about tonight. It is very specific to you. So that's why you don't have to worry to take down the notes. I'm going to give you all the notes, the whole presentation, and some downloads. But I want you to write down those aha moments. And you know why it's so important? Your mind. Don't let your mind trick you in I will remember. Okay? A blunt pencil is better than a sharp mind, because by the second slide or 2 slides past that, you can't remember what I said, and then you are just like lost at what was that one thing that you really wanted to do. So we're going to talk about the foundations of personal branding and why I think we should be looking at branding in a different way. Now, just a short recap. On our last session in December, we spoke about the global trends today in the market worldwide, as well as in network marketing, which is our industry. And very short, we spoke about customer obsession, which means we need to be connected to our clients and sell to clients. Every team leader has got a challenge to start selling to clients like your life depends on it. We're talking about person-to-person live events, leaders in the field, great training, innovative leadership, and visionary mindsets. We then went to Jeff Bezos, who is one of the biggest names right now, and I took his interview that they did with him, and the 7 things that he spoke about was so much. It was actually quite amazing. He spoke about being customer obsessed, be decisive, pay attention to every detail. He spoke about day one thinking, which means you should never get out of that very day one thinking that you had for your business. Constant reinvention, not needing the approval of others, and we're going to speak about number 6 quite a couple of times tonight, and then big thinking. So in our session, in the last couple of times that we spoke, I said to you, what could your business be like if you could do a turnover of $1 million a month? Now, I know some of you that are on this group right now is laughing at me and saying, listen, that will never be me. But I want you to scrap that thinking immediately, because the moment you put a lid on your thinking, you will never be able to break through any of the ceilings that are currently over you. So that's why I made it such a ridiculous challenge, $1 million a month, and I didn't call it 100,000 Rand a month. I made it $1 million a month challenge because I want us to surpass all old thinking patterns inside of this. And the reason why I felt that it is important today to do this personal branding, there has been a huge shift in the market. A lot of you have said to me when we had our leadership sessions, I am advertising on social media. I don't get the feedback that I used to get. When it was COVID, when it was lockdown, I had these streams of people coming into my business. And now and you say these words to me, social media is not working anymore. So I went back and I said to myself, why? Why did it work back then? Why does it not work now? And I want to tell you one thing. The good news is social media is still working. It's just working differently. And the concept that I'm going to speak to you over the next 3 evenings are going to be about how do you brand yourself? Because people follow people and then they buy from those people. People don't follow a brand. If you go and have a look at major brands, you will be just go and have a little bit of a check. What a major brand, some of the major sport brands, what is their following on social media? However, go to the sports person who's promoting that brand, and you will see that their engagement is sky high. Now, it's not about the brand because the brand and the person is equally known. But the saying is true. People follow people and they buy what those people have to offer. And that is going to be our discussion on this topic. I always say to people when they start out in this business, I say to them from day one, I want you to have the idea today as a sales consultant joining my business for the very first time. What if you could be the big name in the company? And then we all make that mistake and we say, oh, but that will never be me. You know, I joined too late to ever be the next big name. I'm telling you right now, if you understand personal branding, you can become the next big name in a record amount of time. And then together with that, I want you to adopt another mindset. And maybe this is something you need to write down in your playbook. I can succeed while others succeed. You don't have to wait for somebody to move out of the top ranks so that you can move into the top ranks. There's not a single spot open for a person with R1 million a month business. I promise you that Honey's accounting system is quite capable of having 300 people doing R1 million a month turnover. And if the accounting system is not up to it, it's not our problem. It's somebody else's problem to go and fix that. But I want you to know this right now. This is a principle that you need to listen to and grasp it. For you to succeed, others can succeed as well. And this is the one thing that we spoke about just now, is there is such a huge amount of help and support in our community that none of us are stranded alone. So personal branding, you start on day one. And I ask the question, what if you can be the next big name? Now, a personal brand is that emotion that is associated with your identity. When you open your social media and you look at a person, you have got a preconceived idea of what that person is, because through that person's social media posts, you've got an idea of who she is, how she makes you feel. And I know, because this is what I do, there are some people I will not scroll past them. I will pause and listen to what they say because I'm interested in their opinion. And that is what we want to create. We want to create you as a voice with somebody that's got something to say. And then they can say, but you know what? I want to be in that person's business. I promise you now, I want to make this promise to you. People will join your business for who you are. They would be seeking for a business opportunity and they will decide on your business opportunity just because of who you are, the presence that you have. It's not about the logos and the visual design and all those things. It's about you. You are the brand. And many of you out there have got an excellent personal brand. And I want you to start consciously identify and see exactly how other people are already doing it. Now, a strong personal brand will help you to now stand out in a crowded market. Because what are we currently doing? We are taking the same promotion that Honey has shared onto the Facebook page, which we have sent onto our WhatsApp groups, which we've updated on our WhatsApp, on my update, my updates. I've done it there, my WhatsApp status, sorry. And now what we do is we take that same images and we repost it on all our social media pages. And the moment people see it, they're just like, I saw that. Oh, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. And that is what we need to stop. So it's not because people don't follow you on social media. It's just they see it, what you say, and they're not interested because it is a flat image. And if you start having a look at the information on social media, nobody likes flat images. Why do you think I have gone to great lengths and to great stress inside of my whole being to work this different operating system so I can present an image, a video, a sound together with my presentation? Because the other systems don't allow it to me. And I know that you are going to be disengaged if I don't get you on all the senses. Okay, so we want to make sure that when somebody sees you, they want to build a relationship with you. And we are going to transform you from being a product seller to a trusted advisor. Because what did we say in our previous training? People will buy from people who they like, know, and trust. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to work on your likability. We're going to work on your known factor, and we are going to build trust. And then when you offer them something, they're going to say, I'm going to take this. This is fine. And when they sit at their next little social meeting and somebody says, I really need to get an income, but I'm so tired of scammers, they're going to say, oh, there's this lady on social media. I think you're going to love her. I know for a fact that she is 100% legit. She's been on my feed for the past 10 years. And that is where we want to tap into those referrals for us back into our business, because that is ultimately what you are missing. You are missing the engagement that used to come from flat posting. Now, the digital world has shifted and branding has shifted from traditional ways, and they focus on authenticity. We said this even in our December session. I spoke about authenticity and I said that if you could measure authenticity on a frequency meter, you will be amazed to see that authenticity is the highest frequency out in the world out there. Doesn't matter what you put on, which podcast you listen to, everybody speaks about authenticity. And it's about storytelling. Okay. So right now, I know a lot of you are telling me, I'm going to sign off on this now because I'm not going to do this. Please just hang around because I'm going to show you actually how easy it really is. It's got to push you outside of your comfort zone, but I don't know about you, but R1 million a month business is really attractive enough for me to be out of my comfort zone. If we were all having a R1 million a month business now, our poor director would not be at home. He would still be at head office running a night shift and running around crazy, which would put him out of his comfort zone. So you know what? We're all in this together. So I'm going to give you 10 key points that I want you to take note of. And remember right here now, don't write down the information. I'm going to supply it to you. I want you to write down those major light bulb moments in your honey playbook. So we are going to, the question that we are answering now, right now, is if I go onto social media and if I have something to say to build my authenticity, my like, my know, my trust, what would I say? And one of the things that people love to hear is they love to hear your story and they love to hear how you reflect on defining moments in your life. Maybe places where you had a career shift, maybe you had major challenges, a success, or any personal breakthroughs. Because you will learn more from your own journey by hearing it through the voice of another person that you relate to. I mean, it's like me. There's a certain profile of a person that I'm not going to follow because it doesn't appeal to me. So when those different profiles of people will share their story, it will not resonate with me at all. But the people that I follow, I trust them. And when they speak, I stop and I listen. I'm like, oh, I never thought of it like that. And it helps me to create a breakthrough. So you need to start to identify those milestones and to share them then on a platform in a way that you are feeling comfortable. And very often what I do is as I prepare, because we'll speak about preparation as well for your presence on social media, I literally sit and work through my journal. You know me, I journal quite a lot, and I make notes on what it is that I'm going to share. Okay. So this is all about a process, but it's about identifying those key milestones. The second thing is to recognize your struggles. I'll tell you that I have had more meaningful conversations with people if I were willing to say to them that I struggle with this. I can tell you right now, and I did share it with the audience that signed up just before 7, I have had so many challenges through lining up this different broadcasting system today that I nearly thought about an hour before we had to start that I'm going to cancel it. So by saying to you today how much I struggled will help you to understand that I'm not perfect. I am not a professional on this. I am a professional problem solver. That's the one thing that I've become. And I've become a professional Googler. Because if I Google a YouTube video, it gives me the little thing that I need to click. So right now, what I'm doing is through telling you the story of how I struggled to do this. And I literally had, I'll be very honest with you, very close to a panic attack about 6:30. So I can share with you the fact that sometimes I go in a complete tailspin. And that makes me relatable to you because next week when you're in a tailspin, you're going to first of all feel okay because you're going to know there's this crazy woman and you know that she's a real person. She also gets them. And maybe you will reach out to me and say to me, can you please help me on how do you handle that? And that is what will help us to connect. So it's building authenticity through our struggles and our triumphs. Then you need to define your why. Now, if you've heard me speak 3 sentences ever in my life, you will know that eventually I ask you, what motivates you to do what you do? And what I ultimately want to do is I want to show you how this business connects to your passion, to your values, and to your life purposes. So maybe, for example, you'll say, you're passionate about helping others, and then you tie it back to the experience where you needed guidance. You know what I had, and I always say this to people, when I started this business, I really needed to earn 350 Rand a month. That was about 22 years ago, 22, 23. And right at that stage, I did not have people that supported me. My upline team leader was absent. So I had to go and figure it out. And then I'll continue to tell the story on how, which makes me relatable because I didn't magically one morning get up and know how to do this. But I know if you understand your why, and I have realized how important my why is inside of my business. And I'll tell you, if we spend more time together, you're going to figure out exactly how your why is connected to this business and how we bring those two items together. Think about moments that you said yes to an opportunity and you just took a leap of faith. You know what? When you share that with people, again, it shows them that you don't have all the answers, but you are willing to struggle. So remember, we're speaking about what would be my engagement material on social media, because I want somebody who like me, who know me, to say, but hey, that lady knows about struggles. I can trust her now with my journey. Remember, that's why we're doing this. And it is a vulnerable space, but I'll tell you, being vulnerable, which means I am authentic, is the highest frequency. And what will happen is you will attract the right people into your business. I don't know how many times I have listened to people that say, I don't like the people that's in my business. And then I listen to other people who say, I love the people who are in my business. And then I know that you attract like-mindedness. So if you don't like the people that are in your business right now, we will have to work on your energy because you are clearly attracting the wrong people. But through authenticity, you will not. Maybe in your authenticity, what you'll do is you can reflect on mentors, family members, maybe colleagues on the impact that they've made on your life. And you know what? When we share that from other people, it shows that I'm not a know it all, but it shows that I am one that takes guidance from other people. And that makes me, again, approachable. I could remember many years ago, I always said, I don't want to be the kind of leader that has got the perception that I never have breakdowns, that I never have things go wrong in my life, that I never stress out, that I never not know the answer. I want people to know that I am a real human being. And I actually laughed. Somebody had the analogy where it was on the movie, and the dad says to the daughter, doesn't matter how important you think they are. They put their leg into pants, 1 foot at a time. We are just normal people. And highlighting personal failures. Now, you know what? When you live a life where you are exposing yourself on social media, the best way is to highlight your personal failures. Because I can remember when I started out with this, I was so worried because we all have got failures in our life. And, you know, you might be thinking right now, but what if somebody ever know that this is what I do? I just bring my failures out because what is out in the light loses its power. So maybe you can share how you had a setback. I just recently shared with somebody how I had a personal friend that actually wronged me. And I thought I would be willing to really easily forgive her because we are very close. We've been friends for many, many years, and I know her circumstances very well. I'll tell you right now, it is not the case. I really thought I'll be done with it right now. I'll be over it, but I'm not. What I've learned is that the closer people are to you, doesn't matter if you understand 100% why they've hurt you, the hurt is still real. So by sharing something like that with people, you actually just show them, again, you're a normal human being and you are confronting your own challenges all throughout your life. Maybe focus on transformation. You know, if people can find out that you also struggle, it makes you so much easier to talk to. Maybe pinpoint relatable moments. You know what? When you've got a breakthrough, or maybe something that really resonates with your target audience. And maybe also what you can do, yes, you can ask. Now, what I like to do is sometimes I would give advice and sometimes I would ask for advice. And I've learned this from other people that I follow in social media who gets it right so well. So sometimes I will say, listen, this, I would recommend that you get this book. And sometimes I will say to people, I'm looking for a book in this category. Is there anything you can recommend to me? So that is all different things that we can use on social media to draw that audience in. Also, simplify your story, especially if you a talker like me. Oh my word. You know what? There's some of you that don't have enough words in your story. And then there are people like me and a couple of my friends. I wish I could like just have them all here next to me, but that won't work because we'll all want to talk together. For me, I always have to say to myself, use less words. You know, it's not a monologue now for an hour. This is only a 2.5 minute video or a 30-second video that I want to do. So just always remember to simplify your story so that it doesn't become too long-winded. Sometimes we have got a story that gives us 9 breakthroughs, but I don't have to share all 9 breakthroughs in one post. I can stretch them out over 9. I mean, how amazing is that? And then use your emotion. Don't be afraid to show emotion. Vulnerability creates a very deep emotional connection. And with my honeys that I lead, that I meet on a daily basis, and that I work on a Monday morning with, they've seen my tears plenty times. And even many times because we head up a Monday morning Zoom session, every Monday morning at 9 o'clock. And some days, it hasn't happened too many times, but I can remember of at least 2 times that I didn't know what to say to them. And I started and I said, I don't know what to tell you today. And we actually had the most meaningful conversations from there on. So use your emotion and your vulnerability. It shows that you are a human being. One of the exercises I want to give you is I want you to write down 3 experiences of which of any of these points, and then start crafting a cohesive narrative. You have to aim to show your evolution, your purpose, and the value that you can offer others. It doesn't need to be a one thing. Okay, so start thinking about those experiences. So this is really just in the process, because I'm thinking, I see some of your names up here and I can see that right now your whole brain bombs out. So this is just an exercise to help you, because you might just say to me, I don't even know what to say. Okay, so we would like to help you to organize these in a more structured narrative. Now, when you discover your authentic story, it starts by crafting your narrative, and it's about breaking your story into 4 key elements: where you came from, the challenges that you faced, the solutions that you discovered, and your vision for the future. And I'll tell you one thing, I have got a book where I have through the years always wrote my story, this one-liner narrative. And I started write it out, then I'll make it longer, and then I'll make it shorter. So don't feel you are not getting it if you didn't get it after the 20th time. Because the more you hash through it, the more you will start to really clear out the fluff of creating your story. Because why is your story so important? I want to connect to you emotionally. And I want to show you that what you want, I can help you to get. And then I want to make it so simple that you will just come, sit next to me and say, just show me. And the moment a person comes to you with the attitude of, I don't know, you tell me, you've got a teachable student right next to you. Now, I don't know, I presume that many of you are mothers. The most irritating feedback that a child can ever give you is when you try to tell them something and they say, yeah, I know. And then, I don't know about you, I just sometimes want to know you don't know. Because if I thought you knew, I would not have the need to tell you. So by sharing my story, it brings the person in, because I can tell you right now, we need a teachable attitude. Doesn't matter what business you are in, whether you are working for a company, they pay you a fixed salary, or you're in a honey business like ours or any other network marketing company, they will tell you, come with a teachable spirit. My question is how? How do I take that hard-headed person that thinks they know it all by coming with a teachable spirit? And it's through my story. So I want you to write down some of your life events and decisions that transformed you, and then start to develop these into short, engaging stories for social media or presence. Now, I'll tell you one thing. I have got a lot of stories, and I want to say that rolls back on my database at the back. But they weren't here always. They started out as I wrote them out, and as I refined them, and as I read them out over and over and over again, so that now it's not about learning it until you can't forget it. It's about getting so comfortable with the information that I absolutely cannot forget it, which means that I can walk into any conversation, I can pick up the line, and I know exactly what story to tell now to bring, to engage in that conversation. So write as many stories as you can. Don't be happy with 5 or 6. Just write as many as you can. Throughout this exercise, what you are going to ultimately do is you're going to identify your target audience. I spoke to my group about this a while ago. And I said to them, you have to so clearly define your audience that you not only know who you want in your business, you should also know who you don't want in your business. That's how clearly defined it should be. They align with your values. Okay. Why would they align with my values? There are certain people on social media who ick me, which means I will not follow them. You might suggest to me, follow this person. I actually watched an amazing training session. I'll listen for 3 minutes, and by then I can tell you whether that person appeals to my value system or not. I am then either going to subscribe to their channel or hit the delete button. That means that that person is only attracting the people who is part of his or her audience. And that is exactly what we want to do for you. We don't want to attract, and this is very important. Now, I do say it again a little bit later on. We don't want to attract everybody. We are just looking for your tribe. Okay? And if you pick up haters along the way, they are not your tribe. We delete them, we block them, we unfriend them, and we just go and collect our own audience. So I want you to identify your ideal client. Where does she stay? And I constantly use the word she. Just remember, I've been in this business for many years, but I do not exclude the men in this. She or he, okay? Every time I say she, you can put a slash he next to it. Okay, it's that power of repetition for so many years. Where does your ideal client, ideal sales consultant stay? What does she think? Where does she work? Does she work? Does she have children? Where does she shop? What is her hobbies? That is how clearly defined your audience should be. I can promise you now, I will not attract a hip hop rapper. I will not. I am not their audience. They are not my audience. Okay? But the people that I attract will sound like me. And when I say they look like me, I'm not specifically say that they look specifically exactly like me, but they have got the same value systems. They have got the same qualities. They have got the same thinking. So when I say they look like you, I'm talking about that online image of who you are. Then your messaging would be tailored because your content will always align with your audience's needs. So you will see me speak a lot about transformation. When you follow me on social media, apart from the fact that you'll see my honey logo wherever I go, but I hardly ever speak about honey and the business. But I always speak about transformation and growth, your why, your journey, your struggles, your challenges. So I will attract those people automatically. So this message now goes out to all those people that wanted to hit the delete button and leave. I want to say to you, we are going to build your personal brand over time. I am not going to check you up on social media tomorrow morning to see if you are there and what you are saying. This is like planting an apple tree. It requires patience and long-term effort. But we are going to focus on creating meaningful content consistently. And this is the part we're going to focus on progress, not perfection. We're going to start where you are, even if it's messy, and we are going to clean up as we go. And I know, let me tell you, I know how daunting social media can be. I know you might say to me right now, Kune, I've never even done a little video. You know, that little video on WhatsApp? I don't care. When I started doing this, neither did I. I just one day dived in, and I'll promise you, I watched some videos that I did right in the beginning. I actually had found them on my laptop. And I tell you, they were horrible. As an Afrikaans speaking person, oh my word, you must have heard my tenses. I, as an R, when I had to he's and were, and it was horrible. But over time, I became confident. And the more confident I became, the more braver I became. And then I started to relax, and then I ventured out a little bit more. So we're going to focus on your progress, not your perfection. There are some pitfalls that I want to run through. Now, see, our time is really working quite nicely because I want to keep it on the hour. So I'm going to chat to you about some key pitfalls that you can know is going to hit you. The belief that everything must be flawless before you share it with the world. Listen, I have looked at some people's social media interaction, and then I think, what are you doing? And then I see the reaction other people have on them. And then I think to myself, so who am I to judge? Okay, so you are going to judge your material from a very higher standard than anybody else. And actually, it's not your opinion that counts. It is the opinion of the people that follow you. Okay. So I want you to set down realistic goals, because what we are going to do is in our honey planner, we are going to put in a slot where we are going to calculate our social media followers. So just like we would say in our planner, or what was your recruits for the month? You started with this many sales consultants, you ended with that many. We're going to say, this is my total followers in January, and this is my total followers in February. So set realistic goals. Let me tell you, if you don't have 890,000 followers right now, you will not get to 1 million this year. All right? It is fine. We are here to say, I have increased from this point to that point. I said this even to my group when we spoke this week. This is not about you measuring yourself against me, the one next to you, or your best friend. It's about me measuring myself against last month's goals and what I achieved. And some months you're going to grow faster than others. And sometimes you're going to hit the jackpot and you don't even really going to know what you did, but it's fine. Okay. So instead of saying to yourself, because I know how we are, we like to speak in round numbers. I'm going to do 10 posts. I'm going to do one a week, one a day. And then you actually realize this is a lot harder than what you thought. So instead of saying I'm going to do 3 perfect posts for the week, 10, you're going to say I'm going to do 3 authentic ones for the week. I don't care that the algorithm suggests that I do 2 posts a day. What I can do is I can do 3 authentic ones for the week. Okay. I want you to adopt the mindset of you and your content are good enough. It meets the need of your audience. And if you can say that this meets the need of my audience, then you post it. Then you don't worry what I would think. Because after all, I'm a person with limited understanding and a limited knowledge, and maybe I'm not even your ideal client. So why would you worry about what other people think about your post? Then learn from your feedback. I've got certain people, according to how they would interact with me on social media, I might send them a direct message and say, I really would like to honestly hear your opinion about the topic that I posted today. Or I'm going to post something brand new. I'm going to want to test maybe a different format or a different kind of a message. Would you please give me honest feedback? Okay. And then from that feedback, I will then adjust. Overthinking. You cannot overanalyze every post that you are creating and think it and listen and watch it. It will just lead to inaction. So set a time limit on your decisions. I'll tell you one thing. And remember, you are going to speak about things that are in your heart. And in the beginning, I promise you, it's going to be difficult. But I've got a rule. When I do my session, when I do my recording, I do take one. If I stumble, if I lose my words, I am authentic. I can sit and talk to my best friend and then I can't remember what word I wanted to use. So I just keep rolling. It's who I am. Just think about how many people, because the first thing you're going to do is you're going to worry about your hair and your makeup and is your shirt right? And yet you go and look at some people. I mean, I follow Mel Robbins, and the Let Them theory. I suggested you get her book for Christmas. I hope you did. This morning she posted, and I hope you can now see what I'm trying to do, a photo of her as she was lying in bed. Like lying in bed, the blankets pulled up to her neck, and she took a selfie photo there, and she thanked everybody for the success of her book and the feedback that she gives. No makeup, nothing. She hasn't brushed her teeth. She's authentic. Okay. There's this one guy, and I can't give you his name right now because he's got one of these weird little, I don't know, Czech or Russian kind of names. He does the most amazing business teachings. He does them in his kitchen, not in a recording studio. That guy has got millions of followers. Not in a recording studio. He does it with tracksuit pants, a t-shirt, okay, with his brand on it. He's very brand conscious. And he uses a good old-fashioned flip chart, which he took the pieces off and he pasted it with press-stick against his oven. Oh, and so by the way, when he does walk away, you see he's barefoot. I mean, that's his brand. So don't overthink things. Yes, do create a content calendar so that you can plan out your posts. It really gives me a lot of help. I use one of those A4 planners, and as topics pop into my mind, I populate them on there. And when I start creating my content, I can very easily create content 3, 4, 5 days in advance, sometimes 2 weeks in advance, because as the thoughts came into my mind, I could jot them down. And then focus on the action, not the outcome. This is important. You are going to measure your success on social media from the moment you start posting. You're going to come back to me and say, Kune, you wasted my time 3 nights in a row. Nobody liked my post. Nobody watched it. Nobody commented. You know that this is not for me. Let me tell you one thing, and one day I will share with you the experience that I had. People watch what you are posting. Don't you think because they didn't like, comment, and shared it, that they didn't read it? I found this out one day in a way that blew my mind. So don't focus on the action and the reaction that you get. You just keep doing it. Because in the beginning, they're going to think that you are just another fly-by-night until they see that you actually start building that engagement on a constant basis. Fear of judgment, yes. You are going to worry about what others think, and it will hold you back from sharing your true self. Now, you know what? If there's something that you're not comfortable sharing, then don't. There's so many things about you that you can share. You don't have to go and share your deepest, darkest secrets. Okay. Again, we're going to write down our why, because I want to keep fixed to my why. Why am I sharing this with people? And then whenever I have my moments of doubt, I go back to my why. And for me, my why as Corneru, your destiny mentor, is that I want to help you find your true purpose. I want to show you how the business that you are in is connected to that purpose. And I want to take you through a process of transformation so that you will become a big name brand, majorly successful, so that you can build a legacy. So sometimes when I go out there and I'm scared, because I'll tell you one thing, there's not a person on this earth that can tell you that they are not scared of the judgment of other people. I go back to my comments, and there's some comments that I place deep in my heart. And then when I doubt myself, I go back to those comments, and then I remember why I am doing this. And then start small. You know what? Some of you have got small audiences. Some of you have actually already got a large audience. But start with small things. And as you build your confidence, you are going to increase. Reframe negative feedback. Some people will give you negative feedback because they treasure you, who you are, and those are the feedback that I would want to listen. So they would give you negative feedback. Maybe I should rename that. Some people will give you feedback that will help you to build your brand. Other people will give you negative feedback, and you have to differentiate at that stage. Are they trying to build you up, or are they trying to break you down? And if they are there to break you down, let them go. They are not your tribe. And at this point, maybe you should write this down. You are going to be shocked at who is actually not your tribe. It's going to be people, it might even be family members. And I want to give you the permission today to disconnect yourself from that negative feedback as soon as you can. So to maintain your consistency, I want you to focus on your progress. For perfection, you have to what did I say here? To maintain your consistency and focus on progress. So I want you to be constant in what you're doing and focusing on the progress. Be careful of perfectionism. Prioritize completion over polish it again. So what I mean here is instead of redoing it, I'm just going to say done is better than perfect. Okay. Overthink, make a shift, move on, have a clear plan. Fear of judgment, stay rooted in your purpose and build your confidence gradually. And you know what? I like to have a person that I know when I go to them and I open my heart, I know they will always be kind to me and they will build me up. And in the beginning, you might need to go to that person frequently. And you will start realizing that you don't need it that often. But it's very important that we've got those people that will build us up. And then motivation and momentum. Celebrate your small wins. Guys, if you've got a post that does well, I want to give you the permission. Send me a direct link, tag me on Facebook, whatever it is. I want to celebrate with you. Be glad that you had a post that did well. It's important because you're not going to have them. If you really speak to these guys that are social media experts, they don't go viral every day. A guy doesn't go viral if he's got 1 million followers and he gets 10,000 likes in one day. I mean, that is like 1/10 of his people. It's the same as you with 1,000 people and 100 people read your post. It's exactly the same, but do celebrate your small wins and don't think everybody's posts go viral every single day. You see, you only see the ones that goes viral. You don't see all the flops in between. And I must say, I'm actually quite very close to finishing, which takes us a little bit under an hour, and I'm quite glad about this. I pulled out these 3 quotes to finalize our session, and maybe right now you will find in your link the download for this presentation, because maybe you want to go and relook those things and maybe take some more notes. It will also appear in the recording in the comment section, so you can, even if it's somebody that you want to refer the session to that couldn't attend the session tonight, you can go and forward that to them and they will be able to access all these resources just like you did today. Now, social media, I want you to remember this. It's about people. It's not about your business. But if you provide for the people will provide for you. You cannot buy engagement. Don't you think paid ads work better? It is not paid ads that works better. I'll promise you, I can sit in this same training session. I can teach you how to do a paid ad, and I will tell you it will not bring you the results as proper engagement will bring you. So you cannot buy engagement. You have to build it. And Guy Kawasaki says the following: if you share good stuff, people will reshare it, and you will get more interaction and you will get more followers. And then together with that, I want to say, remember, we're going to start messy and we're going to clean up as we go. In our business, it is important that we stay with trends. You can maybe look at this and say, I'm not going to do it. And I know that there's a group of you that are most probably not going to do it. I want to say to you that if you don't follow the trend, you are going to be left behind. I am not saying that we are not building our business in our traditional ways. In our next training sessions, not in the next session, not tomorrow, but in future sessions, you are going to hear me. I want you to get out there and speak to people. But social media is one of the avenues that you can build your business in. And I feel it has been largely, I don't want to say, maybe the correct way would be misused or not used to its full capacity. Remember, I'm the Afrikaans girl speaking another language, so sometimes the word leaves my head. But if we can play in this play park and we can become experts at playing here, it helps us to access people that we most probably never would have. Because there are billions of people on social media. There are millions of people that stay within a very good drivable distance from you. I'm not even saying that you should, should recruit people outside of your geographical area. What if everybody in a 10-kilometer radius can just know that you exist through social media? It will blow your business out of the water. But all throughout this, which is what I want to end the conversation with tonight, is you can grow this business and your presence on social media as big as you believe it to be. But faith without action is just wishful thinking. A lot of you say that I've got faith. I want to see what is the work that you put down together with faith. And if social media is not the way you are going to build your business, that is fine. But then you need to become a master, a Jedi master, and building your business on other ways. So this is me signing off on the session. I truly want to thank you. You can find me on social media, just normal, my name, Corneiru. I don't hide away. That's where you'll find me. If you see that I don't accept your request, send me a DM or send me a WhatsApp, whatever the case may be. But I will be looking out there for you. I want to follow you when you have your successes. I want to celebrate with you because I'll tell you one thing. Just like our director said in the beginning of this, he is tremendously excited for what is available for us in this business. And I can tell you one thing, the amount of faith that he has and the amount of faith that I have in this business is enough for you to piggyback with us until your faith ignites. That is just all from me, and I thank you so much.